Tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 24, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this chapter describes how Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And before the 10th canto begins, in brief, we can hear the glories of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the words of Srila Shukadev Goswami. And also we can appreciate how Parikshit Maharaj, who is hearing Shukadev Goswami speak the Srimad Bhagavatam, he is hearing very attentively and he is completely absorbed in the hearing, because of which the scriptures are describing simply by hearing Bhagavatam, Parikshit became the perfect devotee. He perfected his bhakti simply by hearing Bhagavatam. So what is that quality of hearing? When Shukadev Goswami spoke a little about Krishna in this last chapter of the 9th canto. The 9th canto comes to an end with Shukadev Goswami glorifying Krishna. Immediately in the 10th canto, the very beginning, Parikshit questions Shukadev Goswami that kindly narrate the details of Krishna's appearance, his activities in detail. And he has so many questions about Krishna that the very theme of the Bhagavatam is to inquire about Krishna and know about Krishna, and simply by doing so, perfect our life, achieve the highest perfection of devotional service. Simply by doing that. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Yat kritas Krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. Suta Goswami is telling the sages of Naimisharanya, because your questions pertain to the subject matter of Krishna, they are meant for completely satisfying the self. So one can never be fully satisfied until one hears about Krishna. Therefore, in the Bhagavatam, the descriptions of Krishna are given in all possible ways. How Krishna appears in the form of incarnations, so many types of incarnations, and performs wonderful activities. But even more wonderful are the activities performed by Krishna when he personally appears in his original form. And those activities are described in great detail by Shukadev Goswami. 90 chapters of the 10th canto. 10th canto is the biggest canto in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because it describes in detail about the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, his appearance, his activities, his pastimes, his associates, his qualities, his names, everything. So very important to note that this whole Bhagavatam, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this Bhagavatam as Krishna Samhita. What is the meaning? Krishna Samhita. It is, Samhita means Vedic literature. It is that particular Vedic literature which exclusively describes Krishna. So the subject matter of the Bhagavatam is only Krishna. Therefore, Sutta Goswami says, since all of you are very eager to hear about Krishna, after answering their initial 6 questions, he says, now I shall recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And I was present in that assembly. So I heard, and whatever I have heard, I shall repeat before you. So that is the Srimad Bhagavatam, exclusive literature about Krishna. And the Bhagavad Gita, exclusive instructions given by Krishna. So these 2 literatures, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu points out, are the most important literatures among all the Vedic literatures. Of course, the Vedic literatures is simply meant for glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're simply meant for hearing, understanding, knowing the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But still, the exclusive instructions of Krishna he gave when he appeared in his original form as Krishna. Those are there in the Bhagavad Gita. And the detailed descriptions of Krishna's activities is there exclusively in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, these 2 literatures are very, 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 very important. And these 2 are sufficient for us to perfect our Krishna consciousness. So this 60th and 61st verse we'll discuss today. 60th verse doesn't have a purport, so I'll be reading the 61st verse also. 60th verse. Karmani aparimeyani karmanya parimeyani manasapi sureshwaraihi manasapi sureshwaraihi saha sankarshanaha chakre saha sankarshanaschakre Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Karmanya Parimeyani Manasapi Sureshwaraihi Sahasankarshanaschakre Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Karmanya Parimeyani Manasapi Sureshwaraihi Sahasankarshanaschakre Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Karmanya Parimeyani Manasapi Sureshwaraihi Sahasankarshanaschakre Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Karmani Priyani Manasapi Sureshwaraihi Sahasankarshanashchakre Bhagavan Madhusudanaha Karmani activities Apirimeyani immeasurable unlimited manasa api even by such plans perceived within the mind sura ishwaraihi by the controllers of the universe like Brahma and Shiva sahasankarshanaha along with Sankarshana Baladeva Chakre performed Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Madhusudanaha, the killer of the Madhu demon. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, with the cooperation of Sankarshana or Balaram, performed activities beyond the mental comprehension of even such personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. For instance, Krishna arranged the battle of Kurukshetra to kill many demons for the relief of the entire world. Please repeat this translation after me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, with the cooperation of Sankarshana or Balaram, performed activities beyond the mental comprehension of even such personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. For instance, Krishna arranged the battle of Kurukshetra to kill many demons for the relief of the entire world. I'll read text 61 by myself. Kalau janayishyamananam dukkha shoka tamo nudam anugrahaya bhaktanam supunyam vyatanod yashaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. To show causeless mercy to the devotees who would take birth in the future in this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna acted in such a way that simply by remembering Him, one will be freed from all the lamentation and unhappiness of material existence. In other words, He acted so that all future devotees, by accepting the instructions of Krishna consciousness stated in Bhagavad Gita, could be relieved from the pangs of material existence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord's activities of saving the devotees and killing the demons, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita, take place side by side. Krishna actually appears for the deliverance of the sadhus or bhaktas, but by killing the demons, he shows them mercy also. For anyone killed by Krishna is liberated. Whether the Lord kills or gives protection, he is kind to both the demons and the devotees. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityan Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the 60th verse, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, with the cooperation of Sankarshan or Balaram, Krishna and Balaram appear together as brothers, as sons of Vasudeva. And they performed activities when they appeared as incarnations. They performed activities beyond the mental comprehension of even such personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The greatest personalities in this whole universe are Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Even they could not properly understand the activities of the incarnations of Krishna and Balaram. Of course, always the activities of the Supreme Lord in any of his incarnations are inconceivable for all the living beings in this world, including Brahma and Shiva. It's always inconceivable. Just like when the Supreme Lord appeared as Vamana, he appeared as a younger brother of Indra on the prayer, apparently answering the prayers of Aditi, Indra's mother, that Indra has lost his kingdom, so kindly help my son get back his kingdom. So Lord Vishnu, she worshipped Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu, pleased with her worship, said, okay, that's what you want, I'll do it. So he appeared as her son, and he was Vamandev. And as soon as he appeared, he went to that place of sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, who had conquered the entire world, the entire 3 planetary systems by defeating Indra. Bali Maharaj is the king of the demons. So Vamanadev, he went as a brahmachari, and then because he went as a brahmachari, even then, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, just so that they may not consider him as an ordinary brahmachari and ignore him or neglect him, he displayed partially his Brahman effulgence. So when he was entering the arena, all the Brahmanas there and all the great personalities who were participating in that sacrifice arranged by Bali Maharaj, they were all completely bewildered. Who is this brahmachari who's so effulgent? Nobody could make out it's actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead who's displaying his Brahman effulgence. Nobody could make out. Then Bali Maharaj very happily received, oh, this brahmachari is very, 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 very advanced spiritually. See, this bodily effulgence, depending on spiritual advancement, a transcendentalist or a spiritualist will display different degrees of this bodily effulgence. So, more advanced one is, greater the bodily effulgence. So, this brahmachari, his effulgence was much, much more than all the assembled brahmanas and saintly persons. So everybody stood up in respect out of this small brahmachari boy. He is just appearing like a small boy. And then Bali Maharaj received him very respectfully and just wanted to give him some dana because he is transcendentally very advanced. So what dana can I give you? So he said, I just want 3 steps of land. And you know the story, what he did after accepting 3 steps of land. And then he expanded himself beyond the coverings of his universe. That is when it was confirmed. Oh, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Till then, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva could not understand who is this brahmachari. What to speak of the others. So, in any incarnation, the Lord's appearance is inconceivable. When he appeared as Varaha, he appeared as a tiny boar. And then Brahma was wondering, who is this person? Who is this? What is this creature? Then when he started growing big, and then he roared very loudly, and that roaring was louder than the sound of the biggest mountains. Mountains can produce that sound, roaring sound. So, bigger the mountain, louder the sound. And Varaha, he appeared like as big as a big mountain, but the roaring sound was not proportionate to the size of his form that he displayed. It was millions of times more. It penetrated the coverings of the universe. So all the inhabitants of the upper planetary systems up to Brahmaloka, something is happening on the earth. Something is happening in Brahmaloka only, Brahma. But the sound was heard by the entire universe. So then Brahma and all the great sages could make out, oh, it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead who's appeared in this wonderful form as Varaha. Only then they could know. Till then they did not know what is this creature. So in any incarnation, the Supreme Lord cannot be understood or recognized simply by his external features like that. But when he appears as Krishna, even after he displays very extraordinary features as a Supreme Lord, still Brahma had a doubt. Who is this boy who is so attractive in Gokula? That he is killing such demons as Putana. And he is not sure. He has a doubt whether it is the Supreme Lord who has appeared as a small boy. So just to confirm, Brahma stole away the calves and the cowherd boys. You see. Now Krishna is playing with Balaram and the other cowherd boyfriends of his as a simple cowherd boy. And Kamsa is hearing that there is one boy who is very, very powerful, even though he looks like an ordinary cowherd boy. Be careful. Kamsa is warned. So Kamsa is sending one demon after another. Krishna is killing each demon. But everyone is thinking that somehow the demon died due to some reason which is inconceivable. They never thought Krishna killed the demon. Even Kamsa never thought like that. Only when Narada reveals to Kamsa that actually it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who's appeared according to the prophecy as the 8th son of Vasudeva, who's actually now in Vrindavan. He's not in Mathura with his parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. He's in Vrindavan. And he is actually appeared for the sake of killing you. So then Kamsa became alerted. And then he said, oh, I never could understand that this boy is actually the cause of all the demons' death. Like this, Krishna and Balaram, they performed activities which are inconceivable for everyone. in the whole creation, including Brahma and Shiva. Nobody can figure out. Here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's performing so many activities. Some of them are even wonderful, appearing wonderful even for the big devatas, but they cannot recognize that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should always remember, if we want to see Krishna how? As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then simply by some looking at some form, or simply by hearing little bit about something about his qualities or features, we really cannot understand or recognize or properly appreciate or realize the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. He is inconceivable. He is achintya. So he can be understood or recognized only when he reveals himself. And he reveals himself only to his devotees. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. He reveals himself only to his devotees. So, to substantiate that, here Shukadeva Goswami is telling that Krishna performed activities beyond the mental comprehension of even Brahma and Shiva. Shiva also, many of the pastimes you can see, quite a few pastimes. One pastime that I can recollect. Shiva had a devotee, I think Banasura. So this Banasura had become very, very powerful by the mercy of Lord Shiva. But he was foolishly challenging Krishna. And there was a fight between Krishna as the king of Dwaraka and Banasura, who was ruling some other province. And then Banasura thought, this Krishna is just another king. But when the fighting was happening, when Shiva came to protect Banasura, Shiva also could not recognize Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Shiva also was fighting on the side of Banasura. And so many devatas are fighting on the side of Krishna. And the fight is a very, very severe fight. Very, very chivalrously everybody is fighting. And each side is expecting any moment the other side will be defeated. But the battle is going on. Then Shiva released Shivajwara, his ultimate weapon, to destroy the enemy. Shiva is fighting on the side of the Asura. And then Krishna released Vishnujwara. So this is something inconceivable. What happened? Then all fighting stopped. Why? Because Shivajwara began to offer prayers to Krishna. What is the purpose of Shiva releasing Shivajwara? So that the opposite side is completely destroyed. It's a weapon. But the personification of that weapon, Shivajwara personified, he is falling at the feet of Krishna, seeking his blessings. And he is glorifying Krishna. Shiva is bewildered. What is happening? Everybody is bewildered, obviously. So then Shivajwara admitted that even though he has got the power to destroy anyone and everyone in this material world, he cannot do anything to Krishna or those protected by Krishna. So, like that, so many bewildering pastimes Krishna and Balaram performed. Balaram once was involved in settling some misunderstanding between the Yadus and the Kurus. This is in connection with the marriage of Samba. So then Balaram, instead of the Kurus fighting against the Yadus, so Balaram went to settle the dispute. But these Kurus, headed by Bhishma, Drona, and all great personalities, even the Pandavas, they were also there. Arjuna was there. Yudhishthira was there. But they could not understand what is the position of Balaram. So, when Balaram said, don't pick a quarrel with us because Krishna is the most powerful king of Dwaraka. And if there's a fight between the Yadus and Kurus, Kurus will be completely vanquished, will be wiped out. So don't do this. Let us settle it amicably. After all, we are having good relationship with each other. So then all the members of the Kuru dynasty, they began to criticize Balaram. What do you think of your power? After all, you are subordinate to us. We are the emperor, holding the position of the emperor of the entire earth planet. And Dwaraka is just one small province among so many provinces. Of course, Krishna purposely had kept himself as a subordinate king of a small province called Dwaraka, subordinate to the emperor of the world, whose capital is Hastinapura. So who is ruling from Hastinapura? Krishna accepted subordination to that king. But actually, these Kurus thought, we are actually more powerful than all the other kings, including Krishna. So they just dismissed of Balaram's statement and they just walked away. So then Balaram thought, what do these people think? Who is Krishna? Then he began to explain to them that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Still, they are not able to understand. Then what he did, he took his plow and simply tried to separate out Hastinapura from the landmass and wanted to simply throw it in the Yamuna. So when he started separating that Hastinapura, that city, all the Kurus suddenly began to experience some earthquake is happening. What is happening? What's happening? What's happening? Then suddenly they realized, oh, we have offended Balaram. Balaram is no ordinary personality. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And immediately, Bhishma, Drona, all of them, the Pandavas included, came running to Balaram and fell at his feet. As soon as Balaram realized they have understood their mistake, he said, don't worry, nothing is going to happen. So just to teach them a lesson, who is Krishna? Which means that if they understood who is Krishna, they also understood who is Balaram. Because Balaram is Krishna himself in another form, expansion. So Krishna along with Balaram performed such wonderful pastimes which are inconceivable even for Brahma and Shiva. So why did Krishna specifically perform such extraordinary pastimes? That is described in 61st verse where Shukadeva Goswami says, to show causeless mercy to the devotees who would take birth in the future in the age of Kali. The Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, acted in such a way that simply by remembering Him, one will be freed from all lamentation and unhappiness of the material existence. Simply by remembering Krishna and Balaram's activities, which are recorded particularly in the Bhagavatam and Krishna's instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. That was also another pastime of Krishna. Arranging the battle of Kurukshetra. As Prabhupada says here, Krishna arranged the battle of Kurukshetra to kill many demons for relief of the entire world. Who could understand this? This battle of Kurukshetra, they are thinking, oh, there is some dispute between the Pandavas and Kauravas, and Duryodhana has become very arrogant and he is not giving the share, the rightful claim of the Pandavas is being denied by Duryodhana. So therefore there is this battle. No, that was not at all the purpose of the fighting. First of all, both Arjuna admits and Yudhishthira also says, we don't want this kingdom. Let Duryodhana rule. So the purpose of the fight was not that Yudhishthira should get back his kingdom. No, it was Krishna's plan that the burden of the earth should be reduced. Burden of the earth should be reduced. So many demoniac kings. Krishna, right from the time he appeared on the lap of his mother when he was about 10 days old, beginning with killing Putana, Krishna killed so many demons, including Kamsa and Bakasura, Agasura, every Asura. And then after he came to Mathura, then Jarasandha. Jarasandha was a very powerful Asura. But Jarasandha, he would come to fight against Krishna, attack Mathura with one Akshauhini division of his army. Every time he came with one Akshauhini division of the army, Krishna and Balaram, just with a few soldiers, very few soldiers, completely destroyed this entire Akshauhini division of army of Jarasandha, and Jarasandha's life was spared. Jarasandha could have been killed, but purposely Krishna told Balaram, don't kill him, spare his life. So that every time Jarasandha would go back and bring one more division of Akshauhini, division of his army, so that all these unnecessary burden on this earth, Krishna had come to reduce the burden of the earth. That was the prayer of Bhumi Devi and the Devatas. So Krishna 17 times Jarasandha attacked with one Akshauhini divisions of army. All the 17 times Krishna and Balaram destroyed that army and spared the life of Jarasandha. So who can understand Krishna is actually fighting simply to reduce the burden of the earth? Who can understand this? It's bewildering, no? Every time Jarasandha attacks, Jarasandha's life is spared. Why Krishna is not killing Jarasandha? Nobody is able to understand. And then when the 17 times he is attacked, so Krishna is thinking, my devotees are always disturbed by this fighting is going on. So they'll also be wondering, no, why Krishna is not killing Jarasandha? If he kills Jarasandha, it's finished. No. Again and again he's coming back and challenging and fighting and fighting and fighting. So Krishna said, okay, you are disturbed too much because of Jarasandha attacking. I'll create one special place for you, one city for you, underneath the sea. Jarasandha cannot come there and attack. So he had this Dwaraka city built by Vishwakarma underneath the sea. So again, the purpose of Krishna fighting in these battles or destroying the army is simply for reducing the burden of the earth. That could not be understood, because 18th time, not only Krishna made some arrangement for the devotees of Mathura who were simply disturbed by Krishna's fighting, but he also apparently became afraid of Jarasandha and ran away from the battlefield. If his purpose was to reduce the burden of the earth, 18 times also he could have destroyed that army of Jarasandha, no? He apparently he was afraid of fighting Jarasandha. He ran away. So Krishna's activities are extraordinary activities. The purpose can be understood only when Krishna reveals the purpose. Otherwise cannot understand. Simply by studying his activities externally, or simply by observing, or simply by analyzing, nobody can understand. That's why always the scriptures describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, his form, his name, his qualities, his activities, his paraphernalia, his abode. Everything is inconceivable for everyone in this creation. And if somebody wants to really understand, they have to actually become a devotee of Krishna and surrender to Krishna. Devotee means surrender to Krishna. And then Krishna reveals being pleased with the devotee's devotional service. Only that way we can understand, to some extent, Krishna's personality. Otherwise, it's always inconceivable. So here it is said, when Krishna appears in any incarnation, actually it appears like he is killing the demons, because the demons are very much against the devotees. So to protect the devotees and to kill the demons, he appears. That's a fact. But then his killing of the demons is showing mercy to the demons. Because when Krishna personally kills, those demons are completely purified and they are liberated. So this is also inconceivable. If Krishna's purpose was simply to kill the demons because they are giving trouble to the devotees, why should he purify them? Why should he deliver them? Because for Krishna, both the demons and the devotees are both his own part and parcel. Both belong to him. Krishna says, everyone is mine in the whole creation, whether demon or devotee, in any form. All living entities are my own part and parcel. They belong to me. They are mine. So that way, Krishna doesn't have any inimical feelings towards the demons. He doesn't have any inimical feeling towards anybody, because everybody belongs to him. That's why Krishna shows mercy or compassion to all the living entities when he appears in any incarnation. So this has to be understood. Therefore, even the devotees of Krishna, who have understood Krishna even to a little extent, they never carry any ill feelings towards the non-devotees, towards the demons, towards the asuras. See, Yudhishthira, he never considered Duryodhana his enemy, even though Duryodhana gave so much trouble to Yudhishthira. So much trouble. Harassed him, tried to kill him also in so many ways. It's not that Yudhishthira was foolish enough to think that, oh, Duryodhana is a very nice person. He's plotting secretly to kill. Yudhishthira knew that this Duryodhana is plotting to kill me and all the other brothers of mine. But he never carried any ill feeling. Why? because he knows that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Everyone belongs to Krishna. Everyone is dear to Krishna as Krishna's own part and parcel. So because somebody is dear to Krishna, then how can I have any ill feeling towards such a dear part and parcel of the Supreme Lord? So that is the reason why Yudhishthira never, or any pure devotee, never has any ill feeling towards anyone. And they always try to work for the welfare of everyone, trying to make them Krishna conscious. And therefore, a real devotee will only do welfare activity for reducing the suffering of others in terms of giving them Krishna consciousness. It is the only way somebody can actually be delivered from this material world. And there's no other way. No other welfare activity will be effective in ultimately giving liberation and deliverance from this material existence. So only Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the actual pure devotees of the Lord, when they come to this world, they only are interested in distributing Krishna consciousness to the suffering souls. And that's the only thing they do and nothing else. And that is what Prabhupada also has appeared for. Simply to give Krishna consciousness to all the suffering souls without any discrimination. Even if that soul may be presently in the body of a demon, still, the demons also, they are delivered by Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees, simply by Krishna consciousness. I'll stop here. Tantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the announcements. Balaram Jayanti will be celebrating on August 31st. The program will be in the evening, 6 p.m. Kirtan, Zarati, Prasadam. There will be Abhishek Seva to Krishna and Balaram. Krishna Janmashtami on 6th and 7th. And the details of Krishna Janmashtami will be put up on the notice board festival. And the 127th Vyas Puja, celebration of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada on 8th of September. It will be Abhishek to the deity of Srila Prabhupada at 6 p.m., followed by offering of Vyas Puja book and Guru Puja and dinner prasadam feast. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.